Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Theo, and today, look at my background. I'm filming at a new location. Super excited. Let me know what you think about it. But today, we're not only talking about a side hustle, but we're talking about how we can turn this into an actual side career, because this is something that you can do as a business for yourself, but a side business. So still a side hustle, but a little bit more of a business that you can brand, which is really cool because that means you can bring in a lot more money than your average side hustle. All right, let's just get into this video. I'm super excited. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Theo, and on my channel we talk all about side hustles, way to integrate new side income in your life, diversifying your income, and all things about money and financial literacy. Today, if I'm a little bit out of it, I had a little bit too much to drink. The AC is broken. It's about 80 degrees inside, and I'm questioning my life choices. But here we are filming this video because, like I said, I'm super excited for this new location, and I'm excited to be here with you guys today. I got this idea from a previous video that I filmed here. If you haven't checked it out, I was filming at an Airstream. So an Airstream is pretty much like a high quality camper that you can pull up behind your truck, and it's great for cross country trips. It's great if you're traveling and you want to save on hotels. You can take them all over the place and park them at campsites and have a very luxurious experience. It's like glamping on steroids. It's a great experience. What this gentleman is doing, which stay until the end, because we're not just talking about what he's doing, but we're also talking about a way that even if you do not have property or land, how you can do this too. Even if you're like an apartment, even if you're a college kid, it's a really great idea, what I'm going to talk about later as well. So stay tuned for that. But what this gentleman is doing is he buys a house, he turns it into an Airbnb, he puts a fence out in the back, and then he starts building his Airstream. So he gets an Airstream secondhand. You can find different websites. One that I like is called Airstream Marketplace. He buys one that needs work so he can get a deal on it, and then he does the work himself. Let's say you can pick up an Airstream for like $10,000 to $16,000. Let's just say $10,000 for easy numbers. So you get your Airstream, you put the work into it, you spend about $20,000. There are a ton of tutorials on YouTube and online of how to do remodeling of Airstream. So you can watch a step-by-step tutorial, and let's say you spend $20,000 in that. So now you're all in at $30,000. You're in the backyard, you make the landscape, you put a deck, you put some other amenities like a jacuzzi or a grill. You really don't even need that stuff. You put another like $30,000 to $40,000 in the outside, and now you're all in at $70,000. I'm not sure how accurate these numbers are, and it does depend on where you are, but he pretty much just turned his one house into a duplex, and a really freaking cool one at that. What is particularly cool about this is since it's a actual physical asset, he can sell it. Even if it doesn't work out, he can literally pick it up and take it somewhere else to a different place. If he decides his Airbnb isn't working out there, he can sell it to somebody who is in a completely different state, which is much better than a house because the house is stuck on where it's at, the land that it's on. This Airstream can be taken anywhere and be sold anywhere, or you can just move it and pick up somewhere else. So that's really cool about an Airstream or just a camper in general. That Airbnb that I stayed at, if he's getting $200 at half occupancy, he's already making $3,000 gross. But when I was talking to him, he is fully booked because everybody is trying to have this experience of staying in an Airstream. That's about $6,000 he's making gross, and he doesn't even like live in the state of Missouri. So that got my mind going about all the different ways you can do this as well. If you have a property and you want to put this in the backyard, of course there are zoning requirements, and you should talk to your city to make sure that you are in the zoning requirements, like if you can actually do this. But he's doing this all over the United States, so there's probably a lot of places that will let you do like an in-law suite or put a camper in the back, because it is technically a camper, which, you know, that has its own like little loopholes because it's not a physical house, it's not an actual unit, it's a camper. So there's a lot of loopholes you can have with having a camper. But that made me go down the rabbit hole about all these van conversions. If you type in van conversions into Google, there's amazing van conversions out there that you can use this same method and put it in the back of your yard or something like that to be making $6,000 a month doing this. Okay, we're gonna go to my computer now because we want to get super creative with with this because it's not always easy to find an Airstream, especially because they're really sought after. It's a collectible. Sometimes it's hard to find an affordable Airstream. You can also look for vans as well. If you go into Airbnb, they have this really cool feature called OMG, and it has like a little spaceship, and you can see all the different really cool, unique Airbnbs that are available. Like this is a silo. This one's like an underground thing. This one is like this dome looking thing. This is literally like a boat conversion. You have containers. This one looks like some kind of camper bus looking retro thing. There's just so many cool ones on here. This is a silo. They have all these different silos, which, you know, you can find these all over the place. Like, look at this one. This is literally like a giant guitar. That is so unique. Okay, this is another one I want to show you are these windmills because that is so unique. You have this submarine over here. There's just so many really cool things that you can just find and buy them and turn them into a living space. So it doesn't really matter if it's not like a physical house or like a shed or something. You can turn almost anything into living quarters just with a contractor. There's a couple trains on here. This is like literally a cow looking thing. People are so creative. Anyways, there's like literally a spaceship on here. I can't seem to find it. When I find it, I will put it on here, but there is a spaceship on here. And there's also a double-decker bus in the United Kingdom. Like, how cool is that? You can do this as well. So you might be thinking, great, Kat, that's an awesome idea, but where the heck do I get a double-decker bus or a spaceship or a silo or all these other crazy things like a windmill, all kinds of things? Of course, I got you, boo. I got you. So you're gonna head over to this website called GOV Deals. They have so many random things. They need like a special kind of buyer. It's not just your regular kind of buyer that's just like looking for clothes or a pillow or something. It's a very unique item. It's a liquidation website and it's on auction. So it's just like eBay where you have to win the bid and then you get your item. I typed in bus and they have all kinds of buses on here. You got 24 passenger buses. You got 16 passenger buses. You can just scroll literally forever with all the different buses. I saw a fire truck on here. I saw so many different vans. I saw an ambulance truck. Like, how cool would it be to like stay in an ambulance? There's so many things on here that you can just get creative and you can find things cheap. You can find things expensive. There's literally something for everybody on here. There's a lot of things. So you can start on this website. You can also try, eBay and definitely collector websites that have like random things, and you'd be surprised what you can find out there. So this leads me into my next thing for people who don't have land, you don't have property, you're not trying to get any property because let's say you like live in California, it's super expensive. So I found this idea from somebody in my local area who's doing this, and I thought this was absolutely incredibly genius. What he did is he took a Airstream, he gutted it, he renovated it, but there's no bathroom, there's no shower, and he turns it into like a bar on wheels. But the really cool thing about this is he doesn't supply any alcohol, he doesn't have to equip it with any person or anything. All he does is he rents it out to other people for events. So if you have a wedding, if you have a bachelor party or any other kind of event where you might want to have a bar that's an Airstream, that's really cool. He just rents it out for like $500 for 4 hours, and you can just give it to the person and then they use it for 4 hours for their event and then they give it back. The cleaning time for this thing is probably like all of 20 minutes because it's tiny. It's this tiny little Airstream. You don't have to make beds. You don't have to deal with reservations. So this is a great option for anybody who doesn't want to do the Airbnb, doesn't want to be in hospitality. I think it's absolutely genius. I did a little Google search to see some other ideas. This is kind of how it looks like. You can see here, it's kind of like this essentially, but it's smaller than this. It's probably more like this. It's actually very similar to this. So he decked it out, but he doesn't provide alcohol or anything. Like the guests have to bring their own alcohol, but you can even take this a step further and make even more money on the alcohol and say, with this Airstream, you can only sell alcohol that I provide, and then you're making money on the alcohol. You can even take another step further and provide an actual bartender, pay your bartender $20, $25 an hour to be there for 4 hours. So they get $100 out of it plus tips. It's all included into your price. So you can charge higher if you're providing alcohol and a bartender. But if you don't want to do that and you're like, I got a job, I just want something passive, you can totally just drop the thing off, and then when they're done, pick it up. And it's your business, so you can do it any way you want. If you want them to pick it up and drop it back off, at a location that you desire. You can do this. So you might be thinking, well, where do I store this thing? You can get a storage unit. You can get a garage that you pay for. There's so many places you can stick this thing. You can even like pay somebody to leave it on their empty lot. You know, there's a lot of places that are just empty lots, even in the city. You'd be surprised that you can just leave these things and people would be happy to charge you just like $100 a month because it's just doing nothing anyways, that little lot. Yeah, you can kind of see like different ideas here, how it's just really basic, but people love it. People love to have these experiences like this. This is literally like kind of how what they did, but they didn't paint it. He does it where the guests help themselves and make their own. So they serve themselves and everything. It's just like all he does is rent out the Airstream and it's on them, the rest, the bartender and the alcohol and all of that. Once that initial work is done renovating it, there's not much he does. One of my really good real estate friends used to do this back in the day before he was married and all that. He used to buy these buses that I just showed you on this website, GOV Deals. So here's one, for example, right here. This one already has 5 bids. Okay. And he didn't really benefit that. He painted the outside. He put the name of their little business, like Party Bus, XYZ, whatever. He added a stripper pole, put in a sound system, and that was it. And he was making $1,000 for 4 hours. So if they literally booked one 4-hour session a week, he was making $4,000 a month for 4 hours of his time. I don't know about you, but in my city, there's a lot of party buses that are going. There's multiple times in a day. They could make $5,000 in a day, like on a Saturday. It's just crazy. He was making really good money. He was making like thousands and thousands of dollars a month doing party buses. And this is all he did, was buy a used bus, paint it, sound system, stripper pole, and he was in business. You do need to get a CDL license in most states to drive a bus. I would say probably all states, but it's not that difficult. Take a test, do all that thing, and then you can have party bus. Or since you're an entrepreneur and you are thinking like, well, I want to make the money, but I don't want to give up on my weekends. What can I do? You can hire somebody. So you can pay your bus driver $25 an hour or whatever the going rate is in your city. So he makes or she makes $100 for 4 hours. You make $900 for 4 hours. Okay, let's take out $100 for gas. That's $800 in 4 hours, and you didn't even get off your couch. People, this is a great business. And you might be thinking, well, there's maintenance and there's upkeep and everything with the bus. Yes, there is, but trust me, you're not spending $800 every 4 hours to maintain a bus. You're just not. So definitely a really great idea. Hopefully you guys found some interest in this, especially between making an Airstream and like renting it out to events, because I think that would work for a lot of people. It's a really fun project. It's a really fun business, and there's not that many people doing it. If you guys do it, definitely tag me on Instagram, tag me on YouTube. Let me know what you think about this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye! Because that means you can bring in a lot more money than your average side hustle. My name is Theo, and on my channel we talk, and now you're all in for like, let's see, how much did I say? 30. And what's really particularly cool about this is that, let's do the math. Come on, Wi-Fi. The state of Kansas. So really, that's Missouri. So in the state of Missouri. Oh God. I forgot what these things are called. A wagon of some sort back in the day, like the Amish. I could be really off. Let me just take that out. You can see all these silo. Okay, yeah, that's what I said. That's awesome, Kat, but where am I gonna find? Sorry, where is that one spaceship? It needs. Oh God. He also gutted it, renovated it. Oh my God, words. Oh God, it's hot. Back to the bus idea. One of my, here we go. Is it CDL or CLD? Yes, okay. Oh, it's hot. It's hot.